first groove. All we do is get dubs, hate to lose. We can do this all day, no snooze. Don't get it poppin' if you saying that you poppin', dog. Never will I lose to a dude, just won't happen, y'all. Call a deep pass, watch flash, what you crying for? Gonna pass a six, better yet, put on up quick. Hear them hating from the side, Twitch watch. I guess you say it's about time, TikTok. FNG, where we at? On top. Other leagues can't win, flip flop.
What's going on, y'all? Give me 1 second. All right, I have to change some stuff. It did it. Give me 1 second.
Let's see, we got disconnected.
No, didn't get disconnected, but it was playing twice at the same time. I forgot that it plays on YouTube. But what's going on, FNG? This is your boy, Big Boy Deal. Man, it's been a minute since we have done a podcast show, so we'll try to keep this consistent, try to go back to doing our regular once every 2 weeks podcast show. So as always, if you want to get on, please hit one of us up. We just need your email address. And like I said before, in multiple shows, this is not my show, this is our show. This is our league. So we'd love to have you on to talk this stuff that we talk. All right, as always, I'm gonna bring in some guests that we got in the podcast. First, I'd like to start off with Mike, the Steelers owner.
What's up, FNG family? Good to be back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. And he will be hooking us up with some stat information, also the power, what do we call it? The power rankings, the top 10. All right. Also, we got Hoseyan, who is up real late, way past his bedtime. He's the Raiders owner.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm glad I could join you guys for a brief moment here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, we got the triple OG/triple OG, Mr. Tony Tranks, a.k.a. Philly Jedi, a.k.a. 49ers owner, a.k.a. how many Super Bowls? 8?
9 or 10.
Oh, see, don't do that. Don't do that.
So I stopped counting.
I appreciate you for being on as always. I'm about to share this. If you can you go over division leaders?
Yeah. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I really appreciate you, Hoseyan, all the way over there in Germany, taking the time. What is it? What time is it over there? You got 6 hours ahead, right?
1 a.m.
Woo, 1 a.m. That's when I just get started.
He sounds so pitiful.
See what I do for you guys.
I love you guys so much. I'm staying up till 1. That's when we just start gaming.
I'm so tired.
Okay, here we go. We always start off, at least I always start off with the AFC North. We have the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens. And you're not the Browns, you're the Ravens now, Dill. You're at 12-3. You are leading your division at 12-3, and the Browns are just behind you by a half game or game, 12-4. I guess you haven't played your game this week yet. They have. The Bengals right behind you guys at 11-5. Y'all trying to get all 3 guys in the playoffs. And Mr. Mike bring up the rear at 6-10. Going down to the AFC South, we have the Titans with a strong 12-3. And since they've joined the league, they've literally had less than 3 or 4 wins, 3 or 4 losses, and they've been dominating the South and dominating the AFC. We have the Jaguars right behind them at 11-4. His brother, Justin's brother, playing with the Jaguars, and with the Titans behind them at 7-8. We have the Colts rounding out the league, rounding out the division at 6-9. Heading over to the AFC East, we have the Bills on top, 8-7, holding the stranglehold on that thing, or at least by the nails. We have the Jets at 7-9. Guess 2 games out of the playoff. More life. You got to take over those Bills. We've got 2 games left. We're in week 17. So we have the Patriots at 2-13. And we have the Dolphins at 0-15. I don't think I've ever seen them do that bad. All right, now we're over at the AFC West. We have the Broncos, who have already clinched the playoffs with at least a wild card at 14-1. Looks like Lord King's back on top. We have the Chargers at 12-3.
Tell me
We have the
about it.
Raiders, right, at 4-11, and the Broncos were terrible when we got in there. And we have the Chiefs at 2-13. We have another new owner with the Chiefs as well. Head on to the NFC. We go to the NFC North with the Vikings at 12-4, leading the division. They also qualified for the playoffs as at least a wild card. And the Packers also 11-4. 11-4, they're about half game behind, and they've clinched the playoffs as well. So both Vikings and Packers have clinched the playoffs. Bears at 9-6, 2 games back, and
That's
the Lions
shocking.
at 6-9. Yeah, they were doing pretty well, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes.
Yes.
Heading down to the NFC South, we have the Falcons who have clinched their division at 11-4. We have the Saints at 8-7. Still need help to get into the playoffs. So probably playoff watching. Going to be going over the playoffs picture in a few. And the Panthers at 6-9, and with the Buccaneers at 1-15, and they've gone through some turnover and turmoil this year with people retiring.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
Coach is getting fired.
Right. So, I seen that post. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was crazy.
But all right, wait. Before you continue though, are we shocked that the Panthers are 9-6? Because just last season, were they the number one seed in the playoff?
Well, they were 6-9, but
I mean 6-9. I'm sorry, 6-9. But there's a number one seed last season.
Well, it all, as Billups would say, it all depends on what divisions you play. And you play the right division, your record's not good. If everybody plays the AFC East, they'll be on top, double digits. But shocked. I'm more shocked that they're not even have a chance at the playoffs, because usually they're right in there.
Yeah.
But Bullock moved into the Saints, so that's competition there. That's wins that Brandon was losing with the Saints, so now he's winning with the Saints. He's 8-7, and he still has a chance of a playoff. So maybe the Saints moving in, Bullock moving into the Saints, and a tougher record because he was the number one seed, so he plays all the division winners. You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay.
So maybe that's it. Heading over to the NFC East. This looks like the AFC East. You have the Cowboys on top, 7-8 record. We have the Eagles at 6-9, a game behind. Then we have the Giants at 5-10.
Wow. And
we have the Washington football team, who will be in the next Madden as the Commanders. Is such a stupid name. At 3-12. Even though the uniforms are nice, but that name is just that name is stupid. All right, man, those records are abysmal. And head on to NFC West.
I'm sorry, but that's funny.
The Seahawks have clinched the playoffs by clinching their division at 13-2. And the 49ers right behind, 3 games behind at 10-5. The Cardinals at 5-10. No hope for the playoffs, even though they made slid into the playoffs last year. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Dorian. And the Rams ran out of the division at 4-11. That's a little NFC West hate right there. All right. Rams ran out of the division at 4-11. And that is your FNG standings.
Thanks, man. Thank you. That's you said.
Having such a good time, forgot to pass it off, huh?
Right. I put my light on. All right, so but it's a couple of teams in here, like I'm really shocked that they're not, up there. Like especially like the Bears. I don't know what's going. You said life's going on. I get it.
I'm almost sure that's what it is, because the last I looked, all 3 of those guys had like 1 or 2 losses, and I was like, man, I got to get my act together if I'm trying to make the playoff, because if all 3 go in, there's only 1 spot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so of course, like them, the Panthers, but you make a great point. It depends on the division they're about to play. So I get that. Giants, I'm not. I thought he'll be.
What? Hold on. You just said Giants like you were surprised they're 5-10.
What? Tiger, I ain't say that.
Did I make this? No. I want to make sure I know what you're saying.
I thought he'd be a lot better. I thought the record would be.
Well, he had that one. He had that 1 year, that one season where he was. He was dominating. But
even a broke watch is right twice a day. What did he make the playoffs last year?
I'm just saying. I thought his record would be better than that. 5-10.
Are you saying you're surprised that I have a better record than Tiger? Is that what you're really saying?
You said that. I did.
He just lost to the Lions.
Real quick, shout out to Harris. He's watching. What's up, Harris?
What's going on, Harris? He literally just lost to the Lions. So I know that
was a pretty big high scoring game too.
And one more team who I believe is better than their record is the football team. They're 3-12. I am a little shocked with that.
Here's the thing, and I'm not letting him off the hook because he's had a few AP games, but he's played a couple of those games too. So that record is his record. You know, Matt and Bullock, that's the Seahawks and the Seahawks and Saints respectively. We were talking about whether or not he was even going to beat the Lions. And I was like, he's better than the Lions. He should beat them. But I wouldn't be shocked if he lost to him.
Yeah,
because that owner beat me in the playoffs with the Eagles last Madden. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's the guy. Don't suck, but you know, Tiger's not known for making the playoffs, much less having a good record.
right.
You know what I mean? He has his one-offs. You know, so
I just wanted to bring that up before we continue. I'm sorry about that.
Like, what? You surprised? What?
Be prepared for the
And
next
Tiger's not
Tiger
even here to
come on
defend
and
himself.
Hey, I had Tiger up. He said he couldn't be on, but Tiger.
How that boy was like, Drake? Drake on the Breakfast Club?
Soldier Boy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever's watching, I see we got 6 people on right now. Please hit us up in the comment section so I can shout y'all out. All right. Or if y'all want to join, just hit me up and let me know you want to join. All right, Mike, I sent over your host now. I sent that over. So if you want to go over the power rankings, I know we don't have the music behind it, but it's fine. We can talk over it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. There we go. So, first thing, the FNG top 10 list is brought to you by Coastland Coffee. For those who know, that's also known as Tillman Coffee.
Tony Tillman, T-Squared Coffee.
Hey, these are not jokes. This is real, y'all.
This is real.
Give a shout out.
Yeah.
It's actually some really good coffee. If you like coffee, you know, get some of it. So anyway, as always,
where can they get it?
coastlandcoffee.com.
There you go. All
right. So as always, top 10 list is, you know, just a matter of opinion based on some statistics. If you don't agree, hey, let's talk about it. But I'm also not the one who put this together.
Who put it together?
This is Harris's top 10 list.
Okay.
Harris can't be here tonight because he's working, so we're presenting it for him. So at number 10, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nice.
Number 9, the Minnesota Cooks. Vikings. At number 8, the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
7 are the Cleveland Browns.
Shout out to Dog, putting in work.
Yeah, Dog been putting in that work.
Yep.
Playing daily.
Yeah, he beat me for the first time.
Number 6, the Atlanta Falcons. Dorian. Number 5, our boy Dill with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
Hater.
If you got everybody covered, Lamar's running for 30.
That's true.
Number 4, Tennessee Titans. Number 3, Harris with the San Diego Chargers. Number 2, the Seattle Seahawks. And number 1, the Denver Broncos.
Well, Eric came back into the league, man. He came back with a vengeance.
With a vengeance. Right.
Yeah.
So Let me ask this: are y'all surprised Harris is not dominating his division? Like everybody thought it was me when Laura King came to my division, but dude was like
What
solid.
was you?
Like,
What was you?
I probably fell off, and this dude just took over. But dude is solid. Like he went to a whole other division, whole new team, 14-1.
Took a garbage team.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the
this team is
season,
pretty
Harris
stacked.
was
They
so
just don't have
bad
a
that
quarterback.
Madden fired his coach.
See, look.
Yeah,
Did that really happen?
Yes. His coach was fired at the beginning of the season too. At the beginning of the season, I think we had 2 or 3 coaches fired.
Wow.
But they were able to, get back on. And
Let's see what
then
his record was.
What?
I think he lost his first 2 games.
Wow.
When he started?
Yeah, this season. No, Harris.
Yeah, he lost.
Oh.
Well, he was 3-2.
Yeah, he didn't lose his first 2 games.
First
he beat
5
the
weeks.
first one,
He
so
was 3-2. He lost to the Colts. He lost
the
to
Bengals.
the Bengals.
and the Bengals, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, shout out to Sleep. I see you.
So yeah, I mean,
And
yeah.
lost the
So
game.
he didn't start off as well as he usually does.
Right.
So
That's true. That is true.
And of course, he lost to the Broncos, but that was a
and he
high
lost
score
to the
game.
Broncos.
62-59. That's crazy.
Yeah, but he's a perennial playoff team. The Chargers were a good team coming into this Madden. So him getting fired just was weird.
Right.
Oh, it was a weird thing.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I'm trying to see, did they play yet? So yeah, they play. We gotta find out when they play. So Chargers and Broncos.
Okay.
They play. So
Yeah, they play this week, right?
Yep.
So that's one of the games of the week then.
Yeah, that definitely is a game of the week. Let me see if anything else is game of the week. Oh, I'm looking at
this week.
Yep. No, I don't see anything else unless y'all see anything. That's like the number 1 game.
Well, we got a brand new owner who took over.
The Jaguars
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
games, just for that reason, the brand new owner.
We have no idea what he's like. His name is Jean-Claude Baptiste, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bullock. And as far as his history is concerned, Saints owner Bullock Badass, he recommended him, and he was supposedly really, really, really good in like around Madden 2008. Played a lot, was highly ranked. He even could potentially consider going pro. So he was supposed to be really good back in the day. Now, obviously, when he comes in here, usually there's a bit of a culture shock how good the teams are. One of Mike's buddies is finding that out, and because we had a guy leave, and we went through the waiting list, and the guy got in there. So that game would be a good game of the week, just because I want to see, everybody should see what he's doing. I think he set up his Twitch and everything. Hopefully, he can put his Twitch information up there for us. But as far as that's concerned, we got Philadelphia and Dallas is another game of the week. Philly is 1 game behind Dallas for the division, 6-9 versus 7-8 with 2 games left. So that's important. Let's see. I think that's it, really. Denver, Chargers in Denver. I think we just said that already.
Yeah.
That's really it as far as games that mean anything for the playoffs. That's something I missed.
All right, Harris just hit. Put in the comments, the Chargers and Broncos play tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
It's a morning game.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So I will be asleep. So I will
set your calendars. I will be in a meeting. Unfortunately.
Hey, Harris, if you're up and I'm not up, give me a call.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
Because I'd love to watch it, but I will be in a meeting. So yay.
Okay. All right, so real quick, Tranks, you just went over the new owners, right?
Well, not really. Considering our last show was last year's Madden, we've had at least two new owners.
Yep.
Jacksonville Jaguars, they weren't here last season, were they?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay. Well,
Java
Well,
I
Christian.
know his name's not Java. That's got to be a YouTube name. But the guy that's the Titans owner, his name's Justin Christian, and his twin brother, Java Christian, is the Jaguar. So I thought it was pretty good having those guys in that division. Right there, I'm sure they were rivals as brothers. So being in the same division would be a good rivalry. And one piece of news though is the Titans owner, Justin, is an actual Jaguars fan. That's the team he uses in Madden. But when he came in, they weren't open. They weren't available, I don't think.
And that's his brother. His brother got him there, right?
Yeah.
His brother has him now. And the other new owner, like I said, is Jean-Claude Baptiste. Let's just call him. I ain't gonna call him Van Dam like Bullock, not Bullock, like Billups always does. But yeah, he's another new guy. And so far, the Jaguars have been doing well, and this will be Jean-Claude's first game. So, or JC for short. We'll be looking forward to seeing how he performs.
Okay. And Mike, thank you for that.
Yep.
That was actually my next thing I was gonna bring up. Y'all, what you see on the screen is the playoff picture, and it looks tough. It looks extremely tough.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the AFC, as it sits right now, you got the Broncos there at number 1. You look at that 2-7 game, Dill always in the playoffs. But as was mentioned earlier, Jaguars were number 1 last season.
Actually, I lost to him. I lost to him earlier this season too.
Yeah,
I think he beat me by 13.
Yeah, and he's coming in at 7 at this point. From the number 1 seed. And then looking at that 3-6, Titans were number 2 seed last season. I think Dog just missed. And Billups was in last season.
Mm-hmm.
And then that 4 or 5, with the Bills, who were almost always take their division against Harris. So I mean that is going to be a very tough playoff schedule in the AFC.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, no knock against Tillman at all, but compared to the other teams, even I'm throwing Dog in there too. Dog he's tough. It's the game I played with him earlier in the season, I beat him by 1. And then the second game we played, he beat me by 13. I mean, I had no answer against this dude, man. You could definitely tell he's been labbing, playing a lot of games, and he's on top of his stuff. So he definitely deserves
put the work in.
You could tell. Yeah. You could tell that our division could have went either to him or to me. So I'm glad I beat him the first game at least. That's the only division loss I got was from him. So yeah, great.
Phillips is not completely out.
Phillips needs a lot of help, but he is not out.
He's not out. Exactly. And then what about the NFC?
So NFC, I mean, Matt, Super Bowl champ.
Back-to-back champ.
Defending, right.
Yeah, back-to-back Super Bowl champ coming in, at this point, number 1 seed. And I think that's locked, right?
No. He just clinched his division. He has not clinched the conference yet.
Okay. And then looking, 2-7 game, Falcons and Chicago, both tough teams. Flip a coin. 3-6 Vikings, San Francisco. Most days of the week, I would pick Tranks to win his game. He has a lot of problems with Dalvin Cook.
Last season he beat me last season.
Yeah, he did.
So
exactly. But the Vikings are a beast of a team, especially when they get Dalvin Cook going. So, who knows? And then Packers, Cowboys. Mr. Lanning, when he is on, and he is very difficult to beat. And, his last couple games, he's been on and rolling. So,
Looking good
yeah.
too.
Yeah. So
what do you
that's gonna be
predict's going to
another-
happen in this playoffs? As far as the lineups, I mean, it could change by next week.
Yeah.
Because the Saints are right on the outside. The Panthers, the 2 games back, I don't think they have a chance. But
I'm curious with the Eagles if that game against Dallas, if that changes the picture. If they
they have a
upset,
chance for the division.
yeah.
That's
So,
their
Yeah, I
only
think-
way in is the division.
right.
Yeah.
So that'll be a game to watch.
So, but
So I
So
get
the
to be the
Bengals-
spoiler next week.
Yeah.
right. So the Bengals, what's their record right now?
They're 11-5.
So they need help from Jags, Browns, and Chargers.
Have you
Right?
played your game this week, though?
No, not yet.
So have you played them at all this year?
I play the Saints next. I play the Saints next.
No, I said have you? So you've played them once. Who won your first game against Billups?
Against
That was one-
yeah,
that was
yeah. I
one
already
of
played them twice. I'm sorry, I played them twice already.
Okay, you beat them
Yeah.
both times.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's between the two of you is a lot. He probably needs the Chargers to lose. I think the Chargers play the Rams and the Jaguars are last two games. So
Chargers play
his-
the Broncos and
Broncos and Rams. Then
yeah.
I don't think the Chargers are going to lose both of those games. They may
Nope.
lose one, but they're not going to lose both. So that keeps Billups out for that seed. Titans got the division.
And then the
Browns
Jags
next
got to
2
lose
games?
both of theirs.
Yeah, Browns. So the game they play next week, they play the Falcons, and then this week they already played their game. They played the Bucks and they won 30-10.
Yep.
So
he needs. What's the Browns? Did the Browns sweep the Bengals or did they split?
I think I'm about to check now.
They split, and then he has a better division record. So
Who's he? Who?
the Browns have a better division record.
Okay. So it's really just the Chargers and the Jaguars that potentially could give the Bengals a chance in because
Yep.
Chargers are 2 games ahead of the Bengals and the Jaguars are a game ahead of the Bengals. So that Jaguars game this week against KC is important for the Bengals. No one else has a chance in. It's really just the Bengals are just on the outside and need help.
Yep. All right. Let's see what we got right here. All right. We did that, fellas. What we got next? Now we said Broncos. Broncos in the building. That's Laura King. What's up, Laura King?
What's going on, Lil King?
All right, make me host.
Way to take
All right.
over that team.
Right. The Ravens are great, though. They're in great hands, so I appreciate it.
Yes,
This
sir.
guy.
I throw a little salt in the wound. I'm sorry, dude. Can't beat him.
Yeah, he'll remember that in the playoffs.
Yeah, he will.
Hey man, he's like everyone else though, man. He's like Chaz. These guys, they come in, take a team over, and no matter who they got, they make it to the top no matter what. So
Yeah,
I don't think
whatever.
it
He
matters
said,
what team he got.
I think he tried to get the Browns from Dog just so he could get back at me. Yeah, I heard.
How about he
dude,
wants to get back into the division? Maybe not specifically you.
Hey, that was what it was told to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got mad. I got the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool. Wherever, Lord King. All right, so what we got next? We got league news.
Well, I kind of went over the 2 new guys that joined.
And a waiting list. How many people we have on a waiting list?
Well, our waiting list is a list of 5, and we just took 1 guy off of there. And Mike's buddy is next. Then your guy is next after that.
Chris. Yep.
Now we got to find out if I keep calling him his name because I don't know his real name. That's so cool, handsome Mikey J dude. If he's even got Mikey J, yeah. If he even has an Xbox or is interested in coming back in the league, because I have him at the top of the list or whatever, but he hasn't either shown interest or had a system at the time. So Chaz can't do it because of life's in the way. You know that how that is. Everybody who's married here knows. And Reggie still kind of tied up with things going on. So, you know, it's a robust list relatively, but I feel proud if any of those guys get in, we should be fine.
Yeah.
We don't have any open teams right now anyway, so but
Right.
that's the list.
Yeah.
I know, like the guy I sent you, I know he's gonna be solid.
That's good.
He plays, he's a gamer. So just real quick comments. On here, Laura King said the Ravens need new ownership. Shut up.
Amen, brother. Amen. I agree.
The Panthers said they'll be back next season. They just need some key players in the
Especially
draft.
since the
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, especially since the Ravens spent $93 for a water boy, $93 million for a water boy.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. And the Pats said they play the Bills tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
All right. So league news. I know we had some stuff that went down.
So before we get to league news, so how do people get on the waiting list, Tony?
Well, you have to know somebody that's in the league. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't want to say it this way, but it seems this way. The waiting list is kind of kept close to the vest. And the reason why is I know most of the people who are on the list because they left because of personal reasons. So I'll place people sometimes if I feel it's a good fit, but generally I do go down the list. And to get on the list, you got to know somebody in the league. Now we've done it once or twice where we let somebody come in the league that we didn't know. Joe Rando, like I was online and some guy watched the podcast and heard about the league. He even commented in one of our comments and said he wanted to join. So I met up with him and he kind of auditioned a little bit, but that hasn't really worked out for us when we do that because this is a pretty structured league, and you know what I'm talking about. He had the Eagles for a minute, and they say we can have a list of rules. You can print them out so you read them so you can't mess it up. It's like it's 10 pages long. It might be 2 pages long.
Yeah, it's not that long.
3 at the most. But a lot of people who just come in randomly just can't cut it. So long story short, if you know somebody's in the league, they hey, let me get in the league or whatever. You usually have to have a recommendation. You know what I mean, to get in. Because the league has been running since Madden 2006 online. And our success track record, we've had, pretty much a full league most of that time. So, and because we do things this way, that's why our waiting list is the way it is. So we do things this way for a reason. That's why we've lasted so long. But I'm glad you asked that, Mike. That's a very good question.
Yeah, and our wait list isn't long because we don't get people just don't leave either. It's not like we have a big turnaround like every Madden people come and go. Once they come, they stay. Right. And if they leave, they're regretting leaving and wanting to come back. So
no, I did talk about him as the Chiefs. I was like, I want to make sure I mentioned the new guy. But it's tough to get in, but once you're in, you don't want to leave. And generally, if we see a member who is not communicating to the commissioners and not playing a game, not scheduling the games, or breaking a bunch of rules and always penalized, generally we end up replacing them. If we get a good recommendation, we literally will get rid of them if we have to. I don't usually do that type of thing, as a host of on, but we try to keep a track record with the people who will be penalized. So that's how you.
Some people with a nickname.
I can't get right, dude.
Can't get right. Okay, one of my nephews. All right. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Speaking of penalties.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We can go over the penalty
news. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. You want to talk about it, Jose? Since you posted
the recent unsportsmanship.
Yeah, the recent unsportsmanlike penalty. Yeah.
It's one of those, those kind of those gray areas. I mean, we have it in the rules. It's there. For the most part, we have the rivals list to kind of prevent these. I don't want to say complaints, but one of these infractions of unsportsmanship. You're playing your game. I know I'm pretty sure for the Bears owner, You know, it's all about playoffs, trying to make sure he sustains the lead. You know, you're playing a guy that's in playoffs as well, and he's just trying to hold on to that, make sure he ensures that win, because, you know, these games, you can easily score. I mean, it don't take long to score when you're a good player, you know what I'm saying? So to being up 28 points or 21 points or 15 points isn't a big lead for most, especially when you're playing a good person. But it's one of those things. I believe it wasn't intentional. It was just more, you know, he had that lead. He just wanted to put the nail in the coffin, and he did what he did. But unfortunately, it's in the rules.
Just to be a little more specific, it does seem, you know, ambiguous a bit, but it is listed in the rule. If you're up 15 points or more and you get the fourth down, you have to punt it or kick a field goal.
Right.
The second rule that's similar to that is if you're winning 22 points or more, you can only kick field goals to score. You cannot score another touchdown, either on defense, offense.
That's 22 points in the fourth quarter, not just up 22.
Quarter. Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
But the fourth down rule is regardless of when.
Correct.
Oh, that's the entire game.
Correct. Yeah. So it is just, like I said, it's one of those things where I'm sure it was, you know, he got caught in the moment, did what he did, and unfortunately, you know, the rule was pointed out, the infraction was pointed out, and unfortunately, you know, it's in the rules, and we kind of hold that stuff. You know, we had to sanction him, unfortunately, for it. So,
but it has to be pointed out by the person who was in the game. It
correct.
Can't be pointed out by somebody in the crowd, like, "Yo, man, no." The guy that's in the game that he's playing has to say something to the commissioners, or a penalty will not be assessed.
Correct.
So a lot of people weren't sure about that. It is up to the person who got the rule broken on them to say something to the commissioners. Some rules aren't like that. This is one of them, because, you know, we can't see every single game. You know, we got a guy over in Germany and a guy working different shifts, so we're not always going to be able to see it. So they have to complain.
Yeah. So pretty much the complaint was brought up, and we, like I said, we took action on it at that point.
With all that being said, y'all read the rules, because don't come in this league saying, "Oh, I didn't know." But as soon as you join this league, they make sure they throw all the information at you. Not only like the owners list, they send the Constitution, all that stuff, and you have to reply. What, I read it, or
you read it, understood it.
You know,
you read it, understood it.
So when you say that, that's like signing your signature saying, "I agree to all these rules and regulations. If I break it, I deserve anything coming to me." So,
yeah.
Well, Dill, you know how it is.
Yeah.
People say they read it and they don't read it, and as soon as they get penalized, that's when they looking like lawyers through the podcast.
Exactly.
Hold on,
Right.
but hold on.
But the word,
Hey man, I got that. You can ask Tranks, man. When something happens, I already know. Tranks comes to me, is like, "Hey, was that?" Yep, it's in the Constitution. It's black and white.
Yep.
So, you know, yeah.
Yeah,
you know, and the comments I laugh because that post is made and people are like, "Why have that happen to me all the time?" It's like, well, if you want something done, you have to say something. If you don't want, if you can't come on there saying, "Well, people do this to me all the time," and you don't, and it's not being reported. Now, I'm not saying go and report it every time, because some people play games and they don't care. You know, you're playing a game, you're playing a game. You know, you score 50 points, whatever, you know, some people aren't going to report it. But if it bothers you that much, you know, the rules are there. You just got to report it.
All right. So a question was just asked. The player has to complain for any sanction to happen or to be handed out. For one thing, I wouldn't say complain, because the thing is, the rule being broken, that's not complaining. You got to report it. So I wouldn't say it's complaining.
Right.
If that's what I said, I apologize, but you have to report it.
Yeah, it's not complaining.
No, it's not complaining. You have to report it. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, but even myself, like, I think Mike is on my rival list, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, but Mike could tell you, I've never run up the score, maybe once, But I think I was trying to get some points.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you did it once. You can't say you
But
did
no,
it once.
yeah, for the most part, you know,
Most part,
you are,
Go ahead.
fourth quarter comes, you're like, all right, I'm up by 67 points. I'm just going to shut this down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think,
What was
honestly, I can
mentioned-
remember. Go ahead, Trey.
Go ahead. All right. Well, what was mentioned by Hossein kind of in passing, we have a rivals list, and there are 6 teams you can put on that rivals list. So in my division, there are 3 other people. So that's you can potentially put everybody on your list, and the people on the list obviously have to agree to be your rival, right?
Right.
And then you have 3 more people in the rest of the league that, you know, people you probably see in the playoffs or whatever, you can put on that list. So when you see them during the season, you don't have to worry about the score. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, here's where things are like kind of gray area. If I'm playing Tiger and I are really good friends, and we scrimmaged for years together and all that. So if we're playing, I'm not worried about how much he scores against me, when he scores, going for it. I don't care about all that. And I'm sure he doesn't care about me. But if you don't have that relationship with somebody else, be professional, follow the rules, and then no one can do or say anything to you. I played the Jets just yesterday, or I forget what day it was. I broke out of that game real early. And you know what? When it came to the fourth quarter, I ran a pick back and ran right out of bounds and kicked the field goal on first down, because I'm not even good. Even though he might have been cool, I could tell by the way he was, you know, the way we were engaging, that he's cool. You know what I mean? He's not worried about the score or whatever. But I'm not going to take the chance, because I need every single game to make sure I get my seating where I want it to be. You know what I mean? So kick the field goal in the fourth quarter. I knew I was up by 22. That way I ain't got to worry about getting penalized. That's
Right.
you know, that's the best way to save yourself.
Yep.
Right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
And I know it's
even-
rough. I know it's rough because you're playing a game and, you know, you're trying to put up points, and you know, of course, it's like in your instance, you got to pick and you want to, you know, get a defensive score.
Running
But
back for a
sometimes
touchdown.
sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
shut it down and, you know, win like a champ, you know, play like a champ, and you know, be sportsmanlike when you're playing other people.
Yes.
So
Hey,
I think we should look at that rule and allow defensive touchdowns, but
I think we
I do
brought that
too.
up. I think that was
I
voted on
do
a while
too.
back, because I think someone mentioned that there was it John Bob back then, John Arsenault and Greg and them, when they were in the league, they were big about, you know, we should be able to score when we get a pick six, and it's like, oh yeah, but you know, and that was.
Well,
that
here's the reason for the rule, okay? And I know everybody says, "Oh no, that's not going to." Trust me, it's going to happen, because this league has been going for 20-something years. Mike making me feel old even mentioning that the last time we were at a party. But
yeah.
if you start running the score up the way you're running the score, what's going to happen is you're going to start having people mysteriously disconnecting. Oh, my thing came. Now you got to play the computer, right? Or potentially you could just get a sim and get injuries that you didn't have in the game.
Right.
And people who are man, I'm about to get my head busted in. You know what? I'm gonna just go on AP, let him play the computer. You're gonna get a lot of that going on if without this rule. You know what I mean? It's an
Yeah.
optional rule. So if you cool, fine. You know, go ahead, do what you gotta do. If you can score 100 on me, try it. Go ahead, try it. But if you're not about that, I'm about playing the game, getting out of there, and I don't need all this foolishness. If you beat me, just, you know what I mean? Then just be professional. But I'm telling you, the rule is there because we were at the point where people were just checking out because they knew they had no chance. And, you know, it's just a lot easier this way. And you have more competitive games and people trying to play for something versus the opposite. That's the main reason.
And you
why.
definitely don't want to, this late in the season, you don't want to get a sanction, because it hurts. I mean, you go in there, now you have to, you know, not play one game. And, you know, now that you take that L, and it could, you know, cost you a spot in the playoffs or cost you a spot in the rankings. So that one definitely hurt. I know it hurt him because that loss that he just took to the Bills, you know, put the Bills in a better position, and kind of, you know, I'm sure he's still in the playoffs, but I'm sure it would have been better not to have to worry about that loss. So, you know, but the rules are there in place. Like Trank said, you know, we've kind of been there, done that. We've been around long enough. We've seen stuff. We've experienced stuff. We've tried stuff. We've gotten to the point where we've voted on things, and people as much as
Voted it
people really
down.
say we should do something, that the vote doesn't, construe what people feel. So I mean, so they're there for a reason. So
I don't like every rule. Trust me. There's
Yeah,
changes
exactly.
I love to make.
Yeah.
But I am not a dictator. Hosnian's not a dictator. The league, this is y'all league. It's not my league. This is y'all league. So y'all have to, vote on what the changes you want. And this was one of that stayed because people, everybody's not the top third of the league. You know what I mean? The top 10. Everybody's not the top 10. So the guys that aren't in there, you got to give them something to play for. And this is a way of keeping things from getting outrageous. You get the win, man.
Yep.
Don't
And
get the quarterback hurt.
wait, real quick. And then also, for one thing, read the rules, y'all. Read it.
Yeah.
And know your opponent. If there's somebody you want to put on a rival list, put them on there so you don't have to worry about this at all.
Exactly.
Now, they say no, but then you also got to follow the rules. Like I said before, Mike and I, we always been on a rival list. I think just once because he said something crazy to me, I ran the numbers. I
told you I didn't care if you scored 100. I said if you could score 100, score 100.
And just to emphasize the rivalry too, the rivalries list every season, you can change it. And you don't have to stick with the same people. So if you know your schedule when it comes out before the season starts, and you're like, oh, I'm playing somebody that I want to be a rival, you can make your rivals list in advance, post it, and tell people, hey, I want you on my rivals list. And if everyone replies back saying, yeah, I'm cool with it, then you're set. It doesn't matter what happens that game because it's all, it's no holds barred at that point. It's all out.
Make sure
without
they confirm.
Correct.
Make sure they confirm.
Yes.
Before you just
they got to confirm.
All right,
and we do that every season. We always make a post at the beginning of the season, say, hey, here's the rivalries list. A lot of times we don't get a lot of action in there, but it's always posted and brought up. So you definitely take advantage of that at the beginning of the year. And like Dill mentioned, if you call someone out as a rivalry and they decline it, that's fine. But you can still make that rivalries list. That's what it's there for. It's kind of to circumvent the rules, so to speak. So
well, we're saying circumvent the rules, Hossein. There is an exception to that. Like, let's I'll give you a scenario. Let's say I'm playing you and we're on the rivals list, right? And I know I need, I don't know, 5 touchdowns to get the MVP race or to get the rushing record or whatever, right? And you start allowing me to score. That's really not the spirit of the rivalry list.
Yeah, no, that's a totally different.
when you start, well, I mean, there's no rules. The way I look at the rivalry list, at least this is the spirit of the rule. You can play without really thinking about what's going on. Like, I don't have to worry about, can I go for it on fourth down or whatever. Play to finish the game. But we start seeing some like really crazy stuff happening in there.
Right, 90 to 87.
Right.
Like,
no, it's like
that's not basketball. It's not basketball.
You got a guy that's never scored more than 15 points all season long, and now they got 87 points. It's going to come under the microscope. So yeah, there's exceptions, but generally, and most people don't fall into that situation. You can play without really thinking. I don't know. What's the rules say? What time it is? Because I've been in parties where guys are playing. Oh, I got how many points is it? If it's a rival, you don't have to think about it. You can just go and finish the game.
And Mike, before you go, I gotta say this. Ty said, "From now on, I'm telling."
So I've been watching this. Ty. I always root for Ty when he's playing, and this season, his first halves have been great. He has played great in the first half of almost every single game. Second half, his team falls apart. I'm in kind of that same boat. My team's the same way. First half, I'm playing pretty decent. In the second half, they forget. They go out and start playing, field hockey instead of football.
You got to curse. You got to curse, Mike.
I got to curse because I got a linebacker number on my quarterback.
Yep, that's what you get. You deserve anything.
I was wondering that game. I was like, what is that number? Who is this player that we're number 57 looking like a linebacker throwing this ball?
So that is how big he really was when I got him. And I was flipping through the numbers and I gave him number 12 to begin with. I'm like, there's no way he's getting number 12. That's Terry Bradshaw.
Right.
Ain't
right.
happening. And I was just flipping through the numbers. I'm like, I don't like any of these numbers. And then just started flipping through and I'm like, 57, that's going to piss Tranks off to no end. Click.
Very good.
Done.
And immediately when I saw it, I was like, hold on. This linebacker playing for, oh my God.
Yep. All right. So
But that's okay.
Justin,
Every one I watched, every game I watched, he threw multiple picks. He does well when I'm not watching. Every game I watch, that curse comes right on. I don't
he
gotta say
does.
anything.
Yeah. So Justin Christian's in the league. Oh, what I was saying is watching too. But
What's up,
Ty,
Justin?
you know,
South Champs.
you know, I'm always rooting for you. You know, a couple times this year, people have broke that scoring rule on you. I think last season I did accidentally not paying attention. But you take your L's, man. You know, there are a few of us in this league who take our L's consistently. And
y'all come back every season
and come back and enjoy playing.
Enjoy playing. Yep. And then you'll have like one magical season where like you're the top 4, you know what I'm saying, in the playoff picture, you know. Like the what's it called? Tampa. Sure, they're like what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They broke the damn rushing record that year.
Yeah.
I remember.
Right.
Destroyed the rushing record that year.
Right.
Harris, no, I'm not doing the stats. They show them right there on the league page now, so it's not worth the extra time. But we were talking about rules, and since we haven't had a podcast since last season, there was a rule change that was not voted on, and I don't think it's the rule was in the Constitution so much, but it's how trades are done.
Okay.
The trade committee, you know, because we put a lot of our time into the trades. Some of y'all might not think it. You might just be like, well, they just don't want me to trade, but that's not true. We spend a lot of time looking at trades, and then 5 of us, 6 of us technically on the trade committee. We spend our time.
Some of those trades, there's some lengthy discussion on them too. So,
debate and discussion. Yes, sir.
Debate and discussion. So,
wait, let me say this before y'all go on. Y'all be patient with them with this trade stuff, because it's more than just saying yes, no. We get it. It's your team, and you want to run your team the way you want to, but we also try to make it fair for the league.
Well, that was actually the rule change, Dale. We basically said, you know what? We're all grown people here. As long as your money allows, you can pretty much make any trade you want. You have to post it. And it's up for 48 hours, and
Correct.
Other people can counter trade. Yes,
sir.
Say Tranks and I are trading
Najee Harris for
Najee Harris.
Right.
Yeah, that's the trade, because I want Nick. Somebody else can come in, Hossein can come in and, offer up, 2 first-round picks for Najee or for Bosa. He can come in and counter trade for either person.
Right.
You can't do for both at the same time, just one of them.
Right.
Yeah. But, so, and then if, one of the original traders, if whoever that's supposed to accepts it, that is now the new trade, but that 48-hour time frame does not stop.
Correct. So if you accept his trade offers, you accept the 2 first rounds, I'm out.
Yeah.
With me being out, I can actually offer other people Nick Bosa or other trades. Hossein and you can't, because you're currently in the trade until that 48-hour process is done.
Yeah.
And I believe we have it to where once you are committed to a trade, you're kind of stuck to that until that trade is either you're out of it or it's been completed. So you can't do, I believe, right, you can't do multiple trades. It's just that one until it completes. Correct.
Can't do multiple trades, can't back out once it's on.
Yeah. And the change was that change was a good idea, because a lot of these trades happened, there were not, I don't want to say they were behind closed doors, but some people, you know, you like me and Dill make a trade and people are like, well, I didn't know Dill was willing to give up that guy. You know,
Correct.
so
They
now
coulda
this,
offered
now this
something
kind
better.
of allows everyone the opportunity to, okay, well, now I can, let me make an offer because maybe I have an interest in that player. I just didn't know he was available. You know, because there's a lot of trades at times that people were like, man, I'd have offered him better if I'd have known he was available, you know, but a lot of these trades don't really get put out there. So now this kind of opens it up for everyone. And it makes it kind of like in the NFL where, you know, if the player is on the market, everyone gets an opportunity to place a bid. So that's the thing I like about it. When it was brought up, mentioned, and introduced to me about doing it this way, I was like, you know what, it'll make it a lot interesting to see who's going to willing to offer what. But I think it makes it fair to the league as a whole. Everyone gets an opportunity, especially like that one when the Chiefs gave up was trading
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get more offers on it, but I know a lot of that cap this season for some reason.
People in cap hell right now.
Cap hell, yeah.
No moves.
But you know, and you're right. And there were a couple trades that happened where people counter offered. So you know, it like you said, it's a good thing that happened. You know, because you know people get that visibility and are able to trade for people they didn't know were available. It allows people to take control of their teams and not complain about the trade committee. And you know, the trade frees up the trade committee's time. All we have to do now is basically, you know,
timestamp.
Make sure they haven't done more.
Timestamp.
They haven't done more than the allowed amount of trades.
And make sure they haven't. Yeah, exactly. So all that happened, and the reason that there was no vote on that is because basically the trade committee said, "Hey, that's a great idea. I'm tired of all the stuff we had to dealing with the trades." So you know, basically the trade committee just said, "We're done."
All right.
This is
That's
how
kind of
why.
we were just open to the new evolution of trading.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that's why there wasn't a vote.
Yeah.
It lets the league dictate the value of a person. If I offer Debo Samuel up, the league will determine if he's more valuable than the trade. Because if Hossein offers me a 7th-round pick for him, right, that trade's going to go through if I accepted it, unless somebody says, "Nah, I got better than that." But if no one offers or no one has a cap room, the trade's going to go through, and there's nothing you can do. The league determines the value of the player, which is like Hossein said, it's more like the real NFL.
Yeah. It makes some of y'all that go through these cap issues. If you want some players now, you better manage your cap, because if you don't got that cap, you ain't gonna be. I mean, I actually was thinking about going after Tyreek, but I was like, I don't that money. You know, these players. Some of these players are a little, you know, they're too expensive now. So, you know, but that definitely makes it a lot more interesting. And like you said, you guys have as owners, you guys all have the freedom now to kind of dictate what happens with these trades now, and don't have to feel
Finally, we as a committee have the right to reject any trade that's offered. Just so you know, because you know, me and Tiger are best friends. He offers me Saquon for Mostert or Saquon for 2 first rounds, and then it's like, hold on, man, this don't make no sense. You know what I mean? We can reject it if we say that trade's not, but it's not likely to happen. We're trying to kind of step back and allow men to be men and people to manage their cap. And if you don't abuse it, we'll keep it this way. You know, I've been praying for more trades, but right now people aren't even really used to this the way it is. Dill didn't even remember we had it. So it's like it's still new. It's still.
I don't trade. So
and the odd thing is, we had maybe 1/3.
Don't trade. Don't call. Don't hit me up. I don't care who you like. I have people hit me up for Lamar Jackson, kick rocks. Look, don't ask for any of my players. I'm never going to trade. I'm done.
You know what? You probably could have traded more if you wouldn't have gave that dude so much money.
Hey, whatever.
For being a backup.
Yeah. But I think we had 1/3 the amount of trades this season that we normally have.
Yeah, true. You
know, it was a lot less trades this season.
Yep.
Yeah, and cap hell is part of that.
Restrictions, though, man, that's the biggest thing. These cap restrictions. There's a lot of teams. Me and Tranks at the beginning of the season was like, man, there's some people already in the negative. We ain't even started. How is that possible? So, you know, but
NFL, whatever.
But it's like we say, the league this is your guys' league. It just isn't mine and Trank's, and we don't make the rules and solidify them. As the league evolves, the rules will evolve, and so will the things we have in place. So this was definitely a big step in the right direction when it came to trading, because like Mike mentioned earlier, a lot of people felt that the committee dictated it, and in some aspects it did, but it was for the integrity of the league. Some of these trades, if it's the Wild Wild West, you're gonna have some teams that are just, the trades
Getting away with murder.
ridiculous. Yeah, so
Yep.
so it's
And that's
good
why
that
we had the trade committee to begin with, is because that was happening.
right. So it definitely move. We always try to move the league in the right direction, and it's a group effort. It's not a Tranks thing. It's not a Hosyan thing. This is any changes that take place. It's something as we do as a whole, as a league. So and this one was one that was brought to us from an owner, and then
the Rams.
the
It's a
Rams
brainchild of the Rams and me.
And it was discussed amongst the committee, and it was voted
all
on,
agreed.
and here we are. So but definitely, yeah, that's a good one to remember, Mike. I completely spaced that one.
All right, shout out to Mac, Jets owner. He's watching.
What's going on?
All right.
Good game today.
Yep.
Good game today. Enjoyed watching that.
Who won that
I
one?
missed that one, man. I'm sorry.
Vikings won that. It was 21-17, I think.
Ugh.
So it was really, really good game.
Yep. And
Showing improvement.
Always, please broadcast your games. So I know we didn't do it this show. We're already at an hour mark right now. But if, in the future, we will
17
be talking.
weeks to go over. So, I mean,
right.
It's just a lot.
Yeah,
We'll go back to the highlight reels and all that stuff like we did. So definitely broadcast your games so we can get those in there.
Yep. And we're also gonna be mindful of Hosseyan. So right now what time is it over there?
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Oh yeah, we got to wrap
2
it
a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m. So
yeah, you're good, man. It's good catching up with y'all. It's been a hot minute since we've done a show, and it's been a minute since I've seen all y'all. So it's definitely nice to get on here, chat. I know it's late. We'll coordinate maybe better times, but it's fine. It's a sacrifice you make for the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's how much he loves us.
Man.
I appreciate Mike. Mike, I appreciate you reaching out to us too, man, getting this together, because
it's
been a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Much needed.
We all had a lot of the life things that came on, and a lot of changes, especially for me, going from being in the States one moment and then now being overseas the next. So it's a big transition. So
see, still don't have the hair, so okay.
Yeah, no, man, it's gone. It ain't. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
I heard German beer will make you grow hair. I guess I was wrong.
All right. So as always, guys, of course, y'all stay right here. But as always, if y'all want to be on the show, please hit us up. We just need your email address. You're more than welcome to be on the show for 5 minutes or the whole time. But we definitely love to have y'all input for the time we're on here. Most of the time, it's about an hour. If Trank is feeling froggy, might be an hour and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, and guys, even if it's just to come on and talk about your game, man.
Absolutely. If you want to come on and talk about your game,
we could put a face to the name, and it's always nice for us to know who's who. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we go by your gamer names or your Facebook tag, and that's all we know. So sometimes it's nice to put a face to a name. You know what I'm saying? So definitely jump on and say, even if it's to say hello and jump off. I mean, but Dorian did that one time. He jumped on while he was at work. He was all suited up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And cut off. So,
Hey, go back and watch some old episodes. So I'm not gonna lie. If I'm like, I go to the gym and I get on the treadmill, whatever, I might go watch an old show. There's some classics on there. And we had that one owner that had like the cowboy hat.
They were calling him Crocodile Dundee for a minute.
And then Harrison come on and said, "That's not a knife." But we had some funny stuff. My brother came on with no t-shirt on, and everybody.
Yo, Billups got him. I was no more good.
So there's some classic shows, some episodes we have on there. So definitely go back, watch them, and let's keep it going. We'll see y'all in about 2 weeks. Good.
Yeah, we're good, man. I'll take care.
I always do this wrong.